Welcome to today's episode of our podcast, where we dive into the fascinating world of software development tools and platforms, specifically focusing on GitHub. So if you're a developer or just someone curious about how software is built, you're in the right place. Let's kick things off with a question. Have you ever wondered how developers collaborate on coding projects? Well, GitHub is like a social network for programmers, allowing them to share, review, and manage code seamlessly. Isn't that a neat concept? Now, GitHub isn't just a place to store your code. It's loaded with features that improve the way developers work together. For instance, one of my favorite aspects is GitHub Actions. Picture this: you've just finished coding a new feature. With GitHub Actions, you can automate your workflow to test that feature as soon as someone makes changes. No more manual testing every single time. It's a real game changer. And then there's Code Review, a feature that lets other developers check out your work before it's merged into the main codebase. It's amazing how many bugs and issues can be caught just by having another set of eyes on the code. Plus, it's a great way to learn from each other. Have you ever had an experience where someone pointed out something you totally missed? It can be both humbling and enlightening. Oh, and let's not forget about issue shoes. They allow developers to track bugs and plan their work effectively. It's like having a digital notepad where you can jot down everything that needs fixing. Could you imagine working on a large project without such an organization tool? It would be chaotic. Now, for those of you who might be wondering about security, GitHub has features that help you find and fix vulnerabilities in your code. That's super critical. The last thing developers want is for a malicious actor to exploit a flaw in their software. So, knowing that GitHub is on top of this is really reassuring. Speaking of security, I've always been fascinated by the concept of open source development. GitHub encourages developers to contribute to projects and share their work through its GitHub Sponsors feature. Imagine being able to support the very developers creating the tools you rely on every day. Now that's community spirit. Let's also touch on the GitHub Discussions feature. It's a fantastic way for developers to engage in conversations about features, issues, or even just share insights. You know, having a space to discuss ideas with others can spark creativity. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you had a brilliant idea during a casual chat? As we wrap up, it's clear that GitHub is more than just a repository for code. It's actually an ecosystem that empowers developers, whether you're into automation, security, or community engagement. So if you're a budding developer, I encourage you to dive in and explore all these features. Before signing off, I have a question for you, our listeners. What feature do you think is the most beneficial in a platform like GitHub? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in today, and be sure to join us next time for more insights into the tech world.